Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Adam,
And I'm Amy.
and today we're going to be talking all about childcare,
Yeah. All those little people.
in England
You
specifically.
get this very specific.
The UK government's plan to add 100,000 new nursery places by next September.
Ambitious.
Ambitious is a good word for it. They're aiming to use what they call spare capacity.
Spare capacity, huh?
Yeah, in existing primary schools.
Interesting.
Ah,
I mean, it makes sense at first glance, right?
yeah. Empty classrooms, kids who need care, sounds like a no-brainer.
Right.
Well, not so fast.
Oh,
Turns out this plan may be a little more complicated.
okay. I'm intrigued.
We've got an exclusive report from The Guardian and some research that's really raising some questions.
Ooh, this is good.
So, Amy, the government's made a big promise, right? 30 hours of free childcare every week.
That's a game changer for so many families.
Absolutely. For eligible families with kids aged 9 months to 3 years.
So basically giving parents of toddlers and babies some much-needed support.
Exactly. And this whole program is set to launch next September.
A big undertaking, for sure.
Huge. And that's where the spare capacity plan comes in.
Right. Make use of what's already there.
Primary schools, they've got the space, right?
Makes sense in theory.
The government's even put aside £150,000 per school just to get this going,
Wow.
aiming to create around 3,000 new nurseries.
3,000, that's a lot of nurseries.
It is. But there are some experts who are saying, hold on a second.
Oh, what do they say?
A group called Frontier Economics, they're an economic consultancy, they did some research.
Okay, and
They found this mismatch between where the spare capacity is and where the families who need childcare actually live.
oh, that's a problem.
It is. So, for example, London's kind of unique.
How so?
Their birth rate has actually been going down.
Really?
Yeah, so they might actually have more space in reception classes than they need for new nursery places.
Interesting. So London's actually ahead of the game.
In a way, yeah. But then you look at somewhere like the East Midlands.
Okay.
The research says that the spare capacity there would only cover something like 13% of the projected demand.
Whoa, 13%?
Yeah, that's for every 100 families who need a nursery place, only 13 would be able to get one under this plan.
Okay, so even if they used every single classroom, it's just not enough in most places.
Exactly. And that's not even getting into the practical stuff.
Oh, right. Like, what about actually turning these classrooms into spaces for tiny humans?
Yeah. I mean, a classroom for 6-year-olds isn't exactly baby-proof.
Yeah, good point.
You need different toilets, places for them to nap, the whole 9 yards.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Totally.
Yeah.
And a lot of early childhood education experts are raising these concerns.
Yeah, they know what they're talking about.
One of them, Kathy Payne, she's a leader in the Primary School Academy Trust, largest one in England.
Okay, she's got to know a thing or two.
Right. She was saying a lot of schools just wouldn't meet the building codes for these little ones.
That makes sense. It's not just about putting down some soft mats and calling it a day, is it?
Nope. There are safety and hygiene standards, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
So if this classroom conversion isn't really going to work, what are the other options?
Well, Dr. Gillian Paul, who actually led that research we were talking about,
From Frontier Economics, yeah.
right, she suggested maybe expanding the existing school nurseries.
Okay.
These are already purpose-built. They've got the staff who specialize in early years.
Makes sense. Use what's already working.
Exactly. And then she also said maybe they could give more funding to private and voluntary childcare providers.
So they could offer free places too.
Right. Basically, use the existing network instead of trying to reinvent the wheel.
That's interesting. Sort of a two-pronged approach.
Yeah, it acknowledges that there are multiple players in the childcare landscape.
Makes you wonder how the government's responding to all this pushback.
Right. I mean, they've invested a lot in this spare capacity idea.
Well, the Department for Education put out a statement.
Okay, what do they say?
They're still committed to the program, they say.
Okay, so they're not backing down.
But they're calling this first phase, starting next September,
Yeah.
a learning process.
The learning process, huh?
Yeah, they want to see how it goes, gather some data, then adjust their approach for the full rollout of those 3,000 nurseries.
Sounds like they're trying to find a balance.
Right, between sticking to their goals, but also being realistic about the challenges.
Makes sense. It's a complex issue. No easy answers.
No easy answers at all.
Yeah.
So to sum up, England's got this big ambition, 100,000 new nursery places.
By next September, ambitious timeline.
Very ambitious. But using primary school space, well, it's not as simple as it sounds.
Definitely not.
The research shows that the need and the space, they just don't line up in most regions.
And even when they do, you've got the whole logistics nightmare of converting classrooms.
Exactly. It's more than just slapping on a fresh coat of paint.
Exactly. So many things to consider for these little ones.
Absolutely. So what do you think? Is this plan doomed to fail? Should the government be focusing more on those other options, like expanding existing nurseries or working with private providers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think.
Always good to hear different perspectives. And don't forget to like and subscribe to The Deep Dive for more deep dives like this one.
We'll keep digging into the big issues, the ones that matter.
And a big thanks to our sponsor for this deep dive.
Independent Daily.
Independent Daily is a digital media company that provides news, original reporting, entertainment, and videos all across their social media platforms.
Amy and I are honored to be a part of this online media startup.
We encourage you to check them out.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.